Welcome again. This is PCI Dealer School, Skills and Drills, Part 2. We're going to be covering drop cutting this time. Initially, I want you to start with a full stack of 20 clay checks. Remember, clay checks, 100% clay checks. Again, don't be tempted to get these poker sets that are plastic. It's very important that you use clay. Start with a full stack of 20. I want you to break it in half. And the reason I have you do this is because in dealing, you're going to be doing this where you break a full stack of 20 units, whether it be greens, reds, blacks, doesn't matter. You're going to be breaking them in half. So practice that too, along with what I'm going to be showing you today. Set one of these aside. You don't need it for now. We're just going to be utilizing 10 checks. Okay, kind of straighten them out a little bit. Lift up the whole stack of 10. Take a look at it. Are you spaced evenly, relatively evenly? Are you like this, where your fingers are together? Are you like this, where it's all, miscombobulated? You don't want that, okay? Again, keep them straight, relatively even. That's what it should look like, for me anyway. And it's been working for me for many, many years. So, set them down. Again, get your firm grip, lift up, elevate a couple inches off the layout, run your finger up against, your index finger up against the side of the stack. Okay, kind of get a feel. Do this repeatedly. Okay, set them down. Kind of loosen your hands up. I know I have to. Lift up again. I want to, let's say, drop cut 2 checks. I'm going to go where the 2 meets the other 8 and lift up, but just a little bit. You see how there's a slight space in between? Now what we're going to do is we're going to slowly roll my thumb clockwise against my middle finger. You see that? See, this is how it looks. And if you notice, see that dark space in between the 8 and the 2 checks? That's what you want. You don't want them. It may strafe it. That's okay. But keep that space there, and I want you to just roll clockwise and then counterclockwise. Roll clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise. Obviously, you don't deal like this repeatedly. We're doing this as an exercise just to understand how to drop cut. Okay, now set the 2 checks down. Remember, this time we're drop cutting 2 checks. Okay, it's going to be anywhere between 1 through 5. So let's start with a relatively simple amount, which is 2. Again, space, roll out, check it out. Look at that space. Can you see that space there? Right there, in between my index and thumb. There's always got to be a space, okay? Roll, counter, roll, counter, set them down, etc., etc. I want you to do this until you just can't hold the checks anymore. As soon as you feel the soreness in your fingers, go ahead and stop. I don't want anybody being rushed to the hospital. I don't want anybody getting tendonitis. So when you get that uncomfortable feeling, especially initially, stop. Here's a really, really good exercise to try to understand how to control these checks. Lift up the whole 10, just drop 1. Now what I want you to do is spider. We call it spidering. Watch this. Up, down. It's kind of a natural move. Up, down. Okay, I want you to spider them about, the check's about a half an inch up your fingers, and then with your middle finger and thumb, index finger on the check, lift it up, set it down. Lift it up, see that? Middle finger and thumb. It's my middle finger and thumb. Index finger placed on top of the check, very important. Set it down. Lift up, set it down. Just like so. Okay. That's what we're going to cover right now as far as drop cutting is concerned. There's, believe me, a lot more involved, and it's a very, very technical move. One thing that, again, really separates great craps dealers from, and not just craps, roulette, blackjack dealers, but I really put the emphasis on dice dealers is simply because it's probably, without question, the most technical and procedural game out there. A great craps dealer will never have difficulty finding work, so keep that in mind too. All right, well, that's going to close out this session. I want you to stay tuned for part 3 if you could, because we're going to be doing a very interesting exercise regarding drop cutting with the right and left hand. We're going to be stacking and picking and unpicking. It's a very interesting drill. I know this is not exciting, but it's just something that it has to be done. I want you to learn right. It's something that we've been trying to accomplish in our school for the past almost 30 years, almost 15,000 students. We've never deviated from the style and the procedures in which we teach the students. So good luck to you. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to either call or comment or email me, however you like to do it. Thank you very much.